Hey guys, back in the garage again, working on the 4-door conversion, 55 Chevy. So it's that time. I'll show you what I got going today and how I do it, and we'll go from there. I'm gonna try to set you up some work footage on it, on how I cut the door skin off. So right here is the rear door off the passenger side. I've already prepped it to get it ready to cut down, and what I mean by that, I took all my window regulators out, latches, armrest holders, stuff like that. Just stripped it down. The only thing I haven't got off of it is the 4-door Bel Air molding, and I'll get that off once I cut the skin. So I'm gonna prop it up here and I'll show you where I'm gonna start, how I'm gonna do this. So this post right here, guys, and part of this section is what's gonna make the 2-door rear window. I'll show you on this side. Here's your post, and then we're gonna be cutting this section down. This is all out of the door, okay? So what we're gonna do on this, where I'm gonna start, this rear 4-door post on this door, we don't need anymore. But we've got to have this door skin to make our quarter. So we're gonna cut it right there, pretty much right where that paint mark was, where the Bel Air molding was on. Straight across there. Even if you cut it a little high is fine, because you'll have to take that down flush and put a piece in there. Then on this section, on this post, by the time we get done with this skin, we're going to be cutting about 6 inches out of it, somewhere around in there. Time we cut it down to fit the front door, and the back's going to stay the same. So on this front post here, guys, the way I do it is I come back about right here, cut down to this roll and straight out at the top of that door skin. And then I come up here about the same distance back, right here, cut it, and then I save all this section of post. This piece is going to be still connected when you cut it out here. Save this piece, because what you'll end up doing, we'll end up cutting this post out, saving this top rail, and then you'll cut, you know, approximately 6 inches out of that top rail to go back in to make your window frame, and this will make the 2-door sedan post. So once we get that cut off, the window section, then we're going to lay the door up. Sorry, bear with me for a second. When we go to cutting this outer skin off, you want to cut right in the roll, all the way around, if possible, going down through here. We're going to save this section. This will go back in later, and you know, it'll be the same way. We'll have to cut, I'm saying 6 inches, it's actually a little more than that. It's not an exact measurement, but it's somewhere around there. We'll have to cut 6 inches back out of this to go back in on the inside of the car. But you want this door skin cut off pretty much as just the skin, guys. So we'll cut it through here, and then when you get to right here, you know, you're going to cut it across, because this is already going to be off. And then we're going to save every bit of this door skin, and that's what's going to make our quarter. So this is a pretty messy job. I suggest, if you care about your shop a little bit, I know it's hard to keep it clean, roll it outside, because I cut it off with a, you know, Metabo wheel or a cut-off wheel, and we're going to cut it down. I'm going to try to set you up some time lapse on this to kind of show you, and then I'll bring you back when I get the door skin off. All right, guys, be back soon. See you. guys, bring you back here for just a second. I set my other camera up in the vise on this table, so hopefully the footage turns out good. You don't get too much vibration, but I'll cut it out with some music or some kind of melody or something like that, so y'all can see me cut down this door. But I'll bring you back in just a second, show you what we got after we de-skin it. So here we go, guys. This is the inside of the door, cut down. Here is our skin. That's going to make our quarter. So when you're cutting these apart, guys, don't force it. If you cut it like I did, make sure you get it cut all the way through before you pull it. You don't want to compromise this and get it bent out of shape. It holds shape pretty good, as long as it's not completely rotted, falling apart. This one's not on the outside skin. So that way that stays in shape. And when you go over here to your quarter, I'll try to hold this up for you. Bear with me just a second. Something of that sort. And you can see how much longer it is when you extend these doors back with the post. So we'll be cutting that down soon. But what I'll be doing next, I'll just take my grinder or cut off wheel and I'll cut off some of this excess off of it. You know, none of that will ever be seen again, but I'm gonna clean it up, make it look as nice as I can. So on this, the front, this is the front of the door right here. Front post is gone. I showed you in the other camera. This is our post that was mounted on the door like that. Sorry for the camera angle. So this piece, you want to give yourself some excess, is going to go in essentially like that once we get to that point. Now your other one, this one right here, this is the rear of the 4-door. That post is actually going to get cut completely gone right there. Save this part, so when you put that front post in, and it's going to connect back in like this to that post I just held up. And I'll be doing that once I get the quarter in place where I want it. And I'll cut this post out, you know, and then that's what we'll go with. We'll hang that right there for now. So next step for me, guys, is going to be cleaning this up some and getting everything cleaned up, and then I'll be ready to start mocking up. We'll actually going to put this to the side because I'm not going to the inside of the car right this second. Here's the other side, the driver's side. You know, once I get to that point, I wanted to do the outside of the car first, and then I'm going to work my way to the inside because I got floor work and stuff like that to do on it too. So once I get to the inside, then I'll be cutting them down to go back in the hole over there. I'll be putting a slit at the top, which is right here on the other side. I'll be opening that gap up. That way, if I decide to put roll-up windows back in this, my slit's already cut, and I'll actually be slitting down through here also, just to go ahead and open that up once I move to the inside of the car. But that'd be more to come. So next steps, clean this door skin up and then start mocking it up to fit the hole, and I'll get you some time lapse and bring you guys back. See you guys. Guys, bring you back just a second, show you what we got going on. We got the quarter skin cut down. I got it cleaned up around the edge, flat as it can be. So next step, what we're gonna do, or how I'm gonna do it, we're gonna hold it in there in place where I want it. I'm gonna put a couple tacks back here to hold it in place where I want it. Then we'll come up here, and I've got this filler plate that I left on this time, and I'll be able to mark it from the inside, cut the front of this quarter down, and then she'll be able to tack it in. And then we'll close our door and make sure our lines are good and all that stuff. So I'm gonna set up a little bit of time lapse and try to get this the best I can. Bring you back soon, guys. See you. All right, guys, next day in the garage. Bring you back here for just a second. There's going to be a lot going on in this video with the work footage and time lapse and all that stuff. So I'm going to break it down and explain to you a little bit on what I was doing, and hopefully my work footage turned out and you guys get some good footage. So here we go, guys. Here's what we got today. So yesterday I got the door cut down, the skin off of it. We got the skin mocked up in place. We got a good body line. We got the post cut in. in place. Got the top rail post cut in. We cut the 4-door post out. So it's all looking pretty good. I'm pleased with it. Did a little bit of more adjusting on the front door. Body lines are pretty good on it. The bottom at the rocker, it's all looking good. So next step, guys, everything's just tacked in. I'm not going to be welding anything just yet. Next step, same as the other side. This filler plate in here is bent a little bit, so this quarter's actually out just a little bit right now. So I'm gonna cut that down to let the quarter go on in. But next step, just like the other side, I'm gonna put sections in the bottom of this door, or this quarter skin. This is the worst corner down here. It's got a little rust in it. It's actually usable, but the reason I'm putting the skins in is this was a door. So I've actually got to extend it down this 1/4 inch down to the rocker, and that way I can get a good weld seam around it. So what I'll do is, everything's tacked in, secure. I'll cut one section at a time, get that section put in, secure down here at the bottom, and then I'll put the other section in, or vice versa. I'm not sure which side I'm going to start on, whether it be the back or the front. But that's the next step. Everything's looking good. I'm happy with everything. Going to be a lot of finish welding. So I'm going to get some more work footage on putting them sections in today, and then I'm probably going to get this video put together and out there for you guys. Like I said, hopefully I can get you some good work footage and I can get a pretty good video together. I tried to move the work footage camera in different places and, you know, different angles and all that stuff. So hopefully you guys like it. I'll get some more work footage and bring you back at the end of it. All right, guys, see you. guys, bring you back one more time for this section of video that we're gonna put out, and then I'm gonna get something put together. We'll have a lot of editing and stuff like that to do with these videos, because I tried to get you guys a lot of work footage with removing this post, you know, cutting this door down, putting the door post in, you know, a lot of what this conversion is what I tried to get you guys this time. Sorry about the lawnmower in the background, but we're gonna do what we gotta do. So I'm gonna show you what we got right here, guys. So this is the basic foundation of the two-door conversion. These sections here is what I put in today. The reason I put these sections in, and the reason I put them in at an angle the way I do, you know, one is 9 times out of 10 there's some rust in here, but I put one section in at a time. That way you don't get as much movement. So this one was still in, and I cut this one out first. This side had a little rust in it, so everything's tied together on this side, and I don't get near as much movement. And that's the reason I'm doing it like that. You have to extend these a 1/4 inch, especially on these conversions, because, you know, this was a door to start with, you know, and so it had a 1/4 inch door gap all the way around it. So one is get rid of rust, the other is to extend it down to give you something to weld to. I shaped these with my leg, and what I've found with doing this conversion, when I cut them at an angle like this, it seems to me I get less warpage, because these cars are naturally bowed this way, you know, and I've put 1/4 sections in and stuff like that on tri-5s, you know, cut them right here under this trim line and down or whatever have you, and I always end up getting a bow right there. It seems to me, and this is just something new that I'm trying, but I'm liking the way I'm doing it, that I get less bow. This 1/4 still has good roll. Try to show you here if I can. As I'm going down through there, it's not bad. You know, when I cut these right here, it seems like I always get that dip in it, which I'm learning as I go, guys, but you know, so I'm pretty satisfied with it. My door gap's looking good, post gap, you know, the rocker gap's looking good. I showed you in the last video, the rocker is really good and straight. This door, I wasn't going to use it, but I think I am. I think I'm going to put a section in it, you know, 4 or 5 inches up, because it's just blowed apart down here at the bottom. But the inside of the door is good. So that's what we got going on. All my body lines are good. Turned out well. So with the next video, guys, that I'm going to start, we're going to finish welding this in, get everything finished in and ground out. But until then, like, subscribe, talk to me, guys. I love talking to you guys. Comment, you know, the whole 9 yards. Share it with your friends, all that good stuff. See you guys on the next one.